So in this video we're gonna see how we can read from the MongoDB database. So previously we have seen that whenever we query for API/students, it will redirect to the students route, and here inside the students route we are getting the students model and we are using that and we are creating the new student which contains the ID and name, and we are getting the ID and the name from the request parameter. So we are writing request.body.id and request.body.name to get the ID and name, and we are saving that into our MongoDB local database. So here in the local MongoDB database, inside the student collection, we have 3 student information with the ID and the student's name. So now we're going to see how we can read those students documents from the database. So this is the route to create. So now we're going to define routes to read from the database. So there are 3 ways we can perform the read. We can read all the documents, or we can read by some query, read based on the query that we provide, and also we can read by ID, read only one specific document based on the ID that we provide. First of all, let's see how I can read all the documents. So here we're gonna use router dot, so this will be one get request, and here the endpoint will be get all. Now to get all the documents from the database, we're gonna simply use the find method. So we're gonna write student.find. So this will return all the documents. So for the student data we receive, we are simply going to run the callback, and we're gonna respond with the JSON of the student if there is any error, and we're gonna set the status with the error message. So this is to get all the students. Now let's see how we can get the students based on some query. So here we're gonna use the get method. So router.get, we're gonna use the endpoint get by query. So first of all, we're gonna destructure the ID and the name from the request.query, and then we're just gonna create one blank query object. If we provide only the ID, then we're gonna set query.id equal the ID. If we only provide the name, then we're gonna set the query.name equal the name that we provide. Now if we provide both of them, so the query object will have both the ID and the name. So we just have to simply pass it to the find method. So we're gonna write student.find. So inside that we're gonna pass the query. So we're gonna receive the student that matches the query. So we're gonna respond with the JSON object of the student that we receive. Now there can be error, so we're gonna catch the error, and here also we're gonna have the same thing. So we're gonna just copy paste. Now let's just define how we can read by some ID. So here also we're gonna use router.get method. The endpoint will be get by ID. Now here we're gonna pass the ID param. So we're gonna find the student based on the ID that we provide in the parameter. So we're gonna simply use student.find1 method, and here inside we're gonna pass the query, and the query is if the ID matches with the request.param.id. And once we find that, so we're gonna run this callback method. Here we're just gonna simply send one JSON response with the student that matches that ID query. But if no student matches the query, in that case we're just gonna return one response with the status 404, and we're gonna return the JSON object with the error message student not found. Now there can be error, so we're gonna catch the error. So we're gonna copy the catch and paste it right here. So we are pretty much done with read by ID, read by query, and also read all. So let's now test them. So first of all, let's just run nodemon index. So this will start the server. So let's now go to Thunder client, and from here we're gonna create one new request. So this will be one get request to localhost 3000/API/students. So we're gonna use /getAll. So let's now use getAll and click on send. So here you can see we're getting 3 student details with the name John, Julie, and Sam. So we're getting all the students. So let's now test the get by query route. So here we have to write get by query, and in the query parameter here we can use the name as Sam, and let's click on send. So you can see we're getting only the document where the student name is Sam. Now also we can pass the ID, so we can pass the ID as 1, and you can see we're getting John. We can pass the ID 2, and we're getting Julie. And also we can pass both the ID and name, so we can pass the name also, so we're getting the student details. So let's now see the get by ID route. So here we're gonna use get by ID, and we're gonna pass the ID as 1 and click on send. So we are getting ID 1 and the name is John. Similarly also we can pass the ID as 2 and we're getting the name as Julie. So this is the way we can either read all the documents from the database, or we can read some of the documents based on the query that we pass, and also we can read one specific document based on the ID that we provide. So hope you understand about how we can perform read operation in Express. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.